Now that we've covered these heavy-duty, serious situations, let's talk about baby blues and the single best thing that you can do if you guys are in this baby blue type of situation where there is a relative balance, okay, and there is sadness and happiness and a relatively balanced experience, right, with the ups and the downs, and it hasn't moved, and it's been getting better, right, which I hope happens for you, right? And you are definitely, your odds are higher only because you're more grounded, and that has a global effect in your home when you're more grounded, right? Okay, so the single best thing to do is everything we've been talking about, right? Being more prepared, knowing what to do, getting in there. All of that is going to help her to feel more secure, more grounded, more confident in you, that it's not all on her. Because look, she's worried still. And yeah, you're this amazing dude and you've been great, and you're not proven yet as a dad. You're not, right? There's been some amazing husbands that turn into crap dads. So she doesn't quite know, and there's this level of question mark. How's this all going to turn out? So as you step up and are grounded and do this stuff, it's only going to increase the odds that the baby blue period is going to be smoother. Okay? So a good indication for you. So how do I know if I'm on the right track here, I'm doing the right things? By 2 weeks, okay, God willing, they give you a normal, healthy, standard issue infant. By 2 weeks, if you can look in the mirror and you know in your heart that you feel confident enough to say, hey babes, you know what? Why don't you get out of the house? It's a Saturday or a Sunday, you're off of work, and you really feel within yourself confident enough to manage your baby for a couple of hours and send her out, you're doing the right job, dude. You're doing a great job. Okay, you are totally on the right path. 2 weeks is a great marker. And I'm not saying that you feel confident to go take a road trip across country, just you and the baby. However, if you're like, you know what? Hey, honey, if you want to get out of the house for a couple of hours, why don't you go ahead? Why don't you call your girlfriend? Or if a girlfriend calls, just imagine these two scenarios. On one hand, your woman's girlfriend calls and she's like, hey, Charlie's home. It's Saturday. Let me get you out of the house for a couple of hours. And she's like, you do know Charlie, right? He doesn't do crap around here. He hasn't changed the baby. He hasn't fed the baby. He hasn't do anything. I'm sorry, I can't go with you. That's a joke, right? Versus, Trisha and, Fernando, Fernando and Trisha, right? So Trisha's girlfriends call her up and they're like, hey, Trish, Fernando's home. It's the weekend. How about we get you out of the house for 2 hours? And she's like, booyah, Fernando's home. He got this under control. Pick me up in 10 minutes. I just fed the baby. Who's more confident, who's feeling better, who's going to be getting through baby blues quicker? Example, Fernando and Trisha, right? So, and of course, you are like this example over here, right? And just to illustrate, by 2 weeks, it's such a nice idea, even if she's like, you know what? Thank you, number one, and of course, amazing that you feel confident to stay home with the baby for a couple of hours while I get out. And you know what? I don't really want to go out, but thank you. And thank you for asking, right? How nice is that, that we started to pay it forward? I mean, that's pretty empowered. It's pretty empowered, right? And also, just think about the fact you're going to want a break, man. Right? And why wouldn't she reciprocate if you are taking care of business, you're managing the baby, when you're home, when you guys work out your schedule, things are going smoothly and you're really involved? Why would she say no to you? Right? And if she is, then that, that may be some other stuff going on that needs to be discussed, okay? Because if you're taking care of business, that's how it's going to go, taking care of each other, right? Taking care of each other, working together. So yeah, you need a break, working together to figure this stuff out. That is the ultimate way to get through, God willing, none of this heavy duty, more serious, depressive, issues. Regular standard baby blues, up and down, feeling, this way. And definitely the downs easing off, right? You want to be watching for the downs easing off and getting less and less. In that case, everything that we're talking about, you are totally poised to rock and roll and help her through the baby blue period, okay? So at this point, you have an understanding of what's to come after the birth. Okay, transitioning home, what's normal, what's not normal, this postpartum period, like what to recognize with, your woman baby blues, what that looks like for her and for you, right? And, being vulnerable enough if you're dealing with this stuff, opening up, right? Going to see somebody, talking to a friend. Don't hold that stuff in. Talk to your wife about it. You don't want to hold that stuff in. It doesn't do anybody any good, because if you push it down, it's going to come out later. Might as well work through this stuff now. And it's okay, man. It's really okay. It's an emotional time. It's a lot of changes going on, right? And our ability to manage ourselves through changes. This is a super mature skill set, right? That's a learned skill set. And now is an amazing time to start developing that with help, with skills, with tools, right? And managing through and getting somebody, so you know who to call if things get really rough. You have Postpartum International's number, and ultimately your ability to identify these issues early in her and yourself, self-awareness is going to be the ticket, right? To help manage you through this transition through postpartum. When I wrapped up postpartum, I feel like I neglected to put the whole list of tools for you together. So I wanted to do that now, just to kind of circle back around. All right, so number one off the bat, we spent a lot of time talking about a postpartum plan, and on that plan being knowing who to call in case of any kind of escalation, past baby blues, right? So we talked a bunch about family psychologist or having a good friend on the line, that you could call that your woman will really listen to. Also, Postpartum International, amazing resource, okay? A couple other areas a couple other tools that we can use. Number one, of course, to be conscious of, there are medications that can help our women when they are going through these different transitions, which you probably are, clearly aware of, although even some that they can still breastfeed with, right? Also, good old-fashioned exercise. Exercise has been proven over and over and over to help decrease depression, right? So even basic walking, right? Making sure she's getting out, walking, both of you, walking, exercising, getting out of the house, breathing in the fresh air, of course. I mean, it's really, really helpful to get you guys moving and in the flow of things with your new normal with the baby. All right. Another tool I wanted to share with you is yoga, right? We spent a lot of time talking about meditation, and I do want to bring up yoga here as a really great tool to help, getting through postpartum. Look, by now you have a feeling of, I really come from, I think, a pretty sensible place. And I wanted to talk a tiny bit here about yoga and what an amazing tool it is for you and your woman also in general, just to kind of help you get centered through this time. Yoga, there's so many, I say the word yoga and who knows how many different images you have in your head. Hot yoga, this yoga, that bang, there's so many kinds of yoga. what I'm talking about when I say yoga is the simplest, plainest, easiest, level 1, basic 101 kind of yoga. All right. And I want to share with you glo.com. It's this website. It's Yoga Glow, yoga, YOGA, GLO. Now the website is glo.com. Yoga Glow, this website we've been growing with for years. Yoga's so accessible because you could just do it at your house, right? In your underpants, anytime you travel. And Yoga Glow goes with you. It's an amazing website. They have all these amazing teachers. I mean, these are like seriously amazing teachers. And I know there's a lot of websites and a lot of, a lot of different websites and apps that are amazing. This is the one that I use, that we've been using. I wanted to share with you. It's $18 a month. Okay. The first month is free. What I really love about it, and I wanted to share with you as such a resource, right? So there's over 40 instructors, and you can go in there and pick, perinatal, prenatal, postnatal. There are, we talked a lot about meditations. There's a lot of instruction, like level 1 basic. If you put in, there's easy peasy stuff to start off basic, right? Level 1. And you can start, it's just a tool to help you get centered, right? As we get older, what are we talking about here? Strength, balance, flexibility, coordination, right? For a regular guy, a regular person who's not looking to be like Mr. Olympia, we're a regular person. We want to have power and feel strong and healthy. It's so nice. It's easy on the joints. Right? We only got one set of joints. It balances everything every day, right? You're in such a nice way, right? So it does all of those things: balance, strength, coordination, and it talks about being nice to yourself and being centered. And it just starts wherever you are, which is the most beautiful thing, right? You're like, I'm so inflexible, I can't move at all. Great. That, so let's, remedy that in a nice way. And they have stuff specially for men. They have baby holding meditations and, meditations to, a hard day at work and getting centered. And I just wanted to share this as such an amazing resource. They have meditations that you can listen to at night before you go to bed to kind of let go of the day, right? A little bit of support, a little bit of guidance to how do I let go of the day? How do I start getting a little bit better sleep? Guidance, right? Some guided meditations, letting go of the day, doing some body scans. It helps us to get, in touch with our body, right? As men and as all people, but, for us, right? I'm trying to help you to, from a perspective that can just help you get in touch with your body, which is a healthy thing to do as we get older, right? Just as we kind of live our life. So it's just this amazing tool. It's been extremely, extremely helpful and accessible, right? I mean, I was so, if you have some patience, you get to develop some patience. You're like, I have no patience, I can't do it. Okay, well, this is a great way to start practicing that stuff, right? So glo.com and level 1 basic, like put in beginner, and it's going to bring up all these different practices. You can pick stuff for your back, for your neck. It's a way that we can self-heal ourselves, right? We're not looking out, you can go out and look here and take this and take that. This is something that we can do for ourselves, right? For ourselves like this. It's very empowering to take care of yourself, right? And it enables us to help then take care of others. I just wanted to share that. So the Yoga Glow, I mean, you could put in a 15-minute, a 10-minute, everywhere from 5 minutes to an hour and a half, restorative, active. You want, if you're like, oh, okay, maybe this sounds like something I would check out. Basic, right? Level 1. Start at the basics. You go through the basic movements. You start opening yourself up slowly. And it's just a nicer journey, right? It's a journey. It takes time. Don't be in a rush. It's a practice that you can grow, and it helps, get centered, man. It's good. Feeling grounded, holding yourself up, standing up tall. These are good things to do on a daily basis, So I wanted to share that with you. And it's something you can do with your woman as well. Right? So you're like, hey, babes, this might sound crazy, but let's try this 15-minute nighttime yoga to help us relax and unwind and connect, right? No, that's a terrible idea. Why would she say that, dude? I mean, why? Maybe, I don't know. And then even still, think about trying that for you. And then all of a sudden, another thing, there's so many benefits of yoga. The more centered you are, the less, you're eating emotionally, and so many things just start to fix themselves when we get centered, right? We're taking care of ourselves. Even if you hit the gym and you're pounding weights and all that stuff, okay, add in a little yoga, man. I swam for a long time, CrossFit, I'm a big runner. As we're getting older, right? We want to age gracefully and feel good, right? Without all the no braces, with all the pounding, it takes a toll. We only have these, if you want joint replacement, it's a journey. We have, 100 years, I'd like 97. I want to be feeling good when I'm old. I want to be able to pick up my grandkids and do stuff without all the wounds and injuries and all of it, right? And if you go slowly and take your time and start taking care of yourself, you age well, right? We age, we go backward. That's why we always laugh about going backward, right? Okay, so, we got family psychologist, Postpartum International, medicine if needed, friends, postpartum doula, okay, yoga and meditation, walking and exercise. All right, I'm feeling like that's what I wanted to share with you to kind of wrap things around for that postpartum in one section. And again, of course, I am wishing for you the smoothest transition with the least amount of postpartum, emotionality and, only the smoothest ride. Okay? All right. So upward and onward until we meet again. And I look forward to connecting with you when we connect. And lastly, please know you can do it. You have the ability to be the hero dad in your home. It all stems from being grounded and really owning your power, right? And your ability to be involved and relevant. You can do it. This guy believes in you, all right? You can do it. Now go and do it. Go become the hero dad in your home.